For those who are not familiar with Give and Hope, tell us about some of the impact that organization has had. Really, it's around the world, but specifically New Orleans East and some of the other ministries that y'all have.
Yeah. So the foundation itself was founded by Troy and Tracy Duhon, who just had a heart to give back, which was prompted out of some pain in their personal life experiences. The loss of two kids back to back that were stillborn, and the influence that Troy's father, who was a minister, who has a story of his own, but who encouraged Troy to use his tremendous um, wealth and resources and connections to give back to the New Orleans community. So that started with a food pantry program, that started with an adoption program, that started with us planning orphanages every year, and it's grown to so much more. So now Give and Hope is involved in fighting food insecurity through two pantries here and three other pantries across the country. We have a goal of planting an orphanage and other types of international resource centers on every livable continent throughout the world. So we're up to 8 now: Brazil, South Africa, Gambia, Russia, Honduras, Dominican Republic. I mean, we're everywhere. We have a new partnership with an organization called CityServe, where we're leveraging goods in kind we store at a warehouse, and we're working through local church congregations to not just do mass distributions, but to empower their congregation members to go out into communities and use those resources as just as a first point, right? To show people love, and then to eventually wrap around and build relationships that we hope would lead to discipleship and people becoming a part of uh, the community, the church. By the way, if you ever hear me say the community, I'm always referencing the church. That's how I kind of reference the church, the building of the church. But we've gone on to work with people like the New Orleans Mission to build rehabilitation centers for folks who have been addicted, housing discipleship programs for those folks to turn away from their addiction to just a pathway of discipleship. We have worked with, we're currently working with the Good Shepherd School. That's a local Catholic school to build a Give and Hope Good Shepherd School in a desired Florida community. We have a community center in that community as well, run by Thrive NOLA, which is led by a minister. It was formerly Desire Street Ministries, and they're doing just a lot of grassroots community work to connect residents with resources, job training, mentorship, recreation, professionalized sports training, and that sort of thing. We have a women's initiative, Women of Hope Unite, that's kind of getting its wings under it and sort of revamping in some ways. That is called to unite women over causes. Right now, the focus has been on women and empowering young people, but the hope is for it to be so much more. And really, we're just open to partner with any group of believers. It could be an individual, it could be a business, it could be a nonprofit, it could be a church, to continue to do the good work. The way I like to think about it is we're a platform that has resources that want to respond to all of the issues that we have. We also want to be a gravity point where believers can come, fellowship, and service together, but hopefully create relationships that become so much more. So we have a number of business partners, church partners. It's still growing. And my hope is that it begins to be a tool to help build some of what we're talking about now, right? How do we connect with people all across the world, right, to do good work? And we've been making it more about the we than the me as of lately. So I feel like going into our 10th year, which is we'll be making 10 years in August, we'll be more ready and set to be a platform, and hopefully we can connect with many more people to do good work and be a model of that in the New Orleans community.
Yeah, it's so powerful. And I mean, when you really break down the numbers, I mean, you're talking about the different ministries, but just give us an idea like of how many people in the New Orleans area y'all distribute food to, say on a daily basis. Do you have those numbers?
Yeah. So just to give you an idea of this, just kind of the scale, we've distributed last year we distributed about 6.2 million pounds of food in the New Orleans community. That's including our regular pantry clients, which are largely fixed income or lower income families and or seniors. So we're up to serving in New Orleans alone over 5,000 people a month. That's accelerated since the pandemic, and it's continuing to grow. We also every day prepare 1,100 hot meals for senior citizens living in assisted living facilities, as well as the homeless, kids, youth, right? I don't think people understand the problem with food insecurity, even among young people and on college campuses, right? So 1,100 hot meals, and that's going to be growing. We were in the 200,000s last year. We reached over 320,000 meals, and we're still getting requests to partner with anyone from the Archdiocese to local churches to school programs to help meet needs in terms of food insecurity. But that number is going to continue to grow, Dean. I can see over the next couple of years adding at least 1,000, maybe more, every 6 months. It's the problem of food insecurity in the United States is overwhelming, if you know, and this area is one of the highest, if not the highest, I believe. It may have changed. We're always in that top 5, I think, of food insecure regions in the world. But so we touch over 5,000 households. We help serve over 1,000 or so young people in the New Orleans East area, through the community center. The New Orleans mission has its own stats. I try to keep up with them, but they're just doing incredible work as well, reaching thousands of people and discipling hundreds of folks. I think Women of Hope Unite before COVID was connected to about 100 women. They're building that back up because COVID kind of put a dent in that. I would say there's probably other numbers that are not quantified yet, because we also just hold ourselves out for emergency situations throughout the year. So that's anything from what happens with hurricanes to tornadoes to just people who are just falling on hard times.